Hey everyone, I'm Tori, and let's talk about nail polish. Today I'll be introducing and trying out Manucurist. They are a nail polish and nail care brand who are focused on clean and green ingredients. They are also gluten-free and vegan. I had been wanting to try out Manucurist for quite some time, not only because their colors are beautiful, but because of their commitment to eco-responsibility. Even their packaging was sustainable. They use packing peanuts, which are biodegradable, and if you go to my TikTok, you could see me actually dissolve these packing peanuts in real time. For today's video, I will be focusing on the nail polish line. Manucurist was very kind and gifted me one of their starter kits. Thank you very much to Manucurist for sending me these products. Manucurist has a 3-part system for manicures. They have the nail prep part, which is prepping your hands and nails for nail polish. Then they have the color part, which includes your base coat, color, and top coat. And finally, they have nourishment at the very end. I will be going through each of these steps as they are all within the starter kit. I will also include how well the colors do in terms of being used for nail art purposes. If you'd like to buy Manucurist for the first time or are already an established Manucurist customer, you can use my affiliate link for 15% off your order. It'll show up on the screen here, but I'll also have it linked below in the description. Okay, let's get started. The first step in the Manucurist process is nail prep. This nail prep solution is almost 95% plant-based ingredients. It's very light and almost feels like oil when applying to your nails, but as you can see in this video, it dried my nail surface super quickly. Without grease on your nails, like from cuticle oil or moisturizers, nail polish will stay on your nails for longer. Now we get into the color routine of the Manucurist process, and the first step is using the base coat. This base coat is listed as a quick dry on the bottle, and that is certainly a good descriptor for it. After I had finished applying up to one hand, my first nail was already dry. The formula is a little slippery, I would say, and I mean that to say it's not very viscous. So you may flood your cuticle area or nail sides if you apply too much. So now it's time to put on the nail polish. I was gifted 4 colors, so I put 1 color on each nail. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with how these nail polishes performed. They were pretty even for the most part, but not perfect. As you can see with this cornflower blue I'm about to apply, it's quite thin on the first coat. The formula for that blue was thinner than the rest of them, so much so that I felt I had to put more polish on my brush for that color specifically than the others. I know you can see my nail line through the orange, however, I think this is more of a jelly formula. The pink on my pinky finger was very nice and even, and I didn't really struggle with it. The bottles say to go up to 2 coats, but with the thinness of the blue and some high ridges on my ring finger, I decided to go up to 3. At 3 coats, each nail was perfect and I was really happy with the look. Please note that these bottles were extremely hard to open. I actually brought them out to my husband to open them for me because I couldn't get them myself, and even he struggled with them. That's a big con to me, and one that I think everyone should really know about. The last part of the color step is to top your manicure with top coat. This is listed as a quick dry, just like the base coat, and it definitely does dry fast, but not as fast as some other indie top coats I've used. It's also slippery just like the base coat, and you'll see in my application that I do flood my cuticles a few times. However, it's extremely shiny and really actually looks like gel, which is kind of shocking considering how thin the top coat is. The last step is nourishment, and these drying drops not only speed up your drying top coat, but they also act like a cuticle oil. 1 drop near the base of your nail does spread down the manicure and along the nail. I saw very little nail imprints when touching my nails after 5 minutes of applying this. And that is the Manucurist starter kit, and here is the finished mani. I absolutely love the colors I chose together. In just a few short seconds, I will also give a demonstration on how well these polishes are used for nail art. So now I'm going to do a little showcase of these polishes being used for nail art. I chose these 4 colors based on my wedding bouquet since I got married last spring. Plus, I'm about ready for spring weather. I don't know about you all. I'm going to do little tulips, so I'm going to start with their long stems and kind of alternate the colors. Even though some of these colors were a little thin on the nail to start, they actually built up very nicely on my long detail brush, namely the pink and orange. And now I'm going to go in and just draw one little leaf right on the side of it. You'll see me go in a few times with the blue and yellow colors just to make sure that they're opaque on the nail. And now it's time to do the little tulip part. I didn't record the first blue tulip there on my index, but I'm still using the same long detail brush and just kind of making 3, like almost a fork type picture on the nail and then filling in where the tulip's petals are. And now the biggest test for me was seeing how Manucurist's top coat works with nail art, and there is no dragging whatsoever. This top coat was perfect for this nail art, and I was really happy about that. So there's my finished mani with my tulips, and I will give Manucurist's polishes a 10 out of 10 for nail art, and I would also give their top coat a 10 out of 10 for using on top of nail art. Hello again. Now I just want to go through what products really stood out to me as a whole and what I overall think of Manucurist as a brand. So I had 2 products that really stood out to me in the starter kit. The first one being the nail prep to degrease your nails. I know that nail prep solutions have been in the indie nail community for a while, but I had never used any. Normally I just take a cotton ball and kind of swipe my nails with some acetone before I apply. I had never used nail prep before, and I was so shocked at how quickly it actually prepped my nails for a base coat. So that was the first product I would highly recommend. The second product that really stood out to me is the top coat. I am very picky with top coats. I have tried quite a bit. Usually I go back to maybe 1 or 2, and I didn't have high hopes for the top coat to reach my standards, but besides the slipperiness of the formula, you know, it kind of flooded my cuticle at times. It was so shiny for it being a thinner top coat to me. I was completely shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredibly shiny and really durable. I didn't start experiencing any cracks or chipping of my manicure for probably 5 days, which is kind of a miracle for me. Also, you could see in the nail art segment, it didn't pull at the tulips at all. If you've ever done nail art and didn't use a nail art top coat on top of nail polish, on top of the nail art, then sometimes that top coat can kind of pull at the nail polish and cause streaks, and then that kind of ruins your nail art. And I'm sure part of this is definitely towards how quick drying Manucurist's nail polishes are, but I also give credit to the top coat because that was a thin top coat and it also did not pull at this nail polish. So Highly, highly, highly recommend if you are interested in it. Other than that, the base coat was not something probably I would recommend if you have nails with ridges. My nails are very ridgy. They have both kind of the vertical and the horizontal ridges to them. Unfortunately, this base coat wasn't that for me. It also wasn't advertised as a ridge filler, so I can't fault them. It worked perfectly just as one to protect my nails, but for someone with my needs as needing a ridge filler, I probably would not buy it again. Okay, that's the end of my video. Thank you all so much for enjoying and watching this video. Once again, if you would like to try Manucurist, they have 3 different starter kits for you to choose from, depending on how much you want to spend and how many colors you want included in your starter kit. You can use my affiliate link down in the description below for 15% off of your order. Thank you all so much for watching and have a wonderful and amazing day.